Hey, what's going on, everyone? Cannabis Express 420 here. I just want to go over something I found out about today that's actually very old. It's about 10 years old by now, but controversy surrounding Ethos Genetics and the owner named Colin Gordon. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, there are animal abuse accusations against Colin Gordon, and talking about it and doing a little bit of research into it, I was very confused because there was a story that had nothing to do with him that I was referenced to. A very tragic story, which we'll touch on, but was not him. I cannot stress that enough. So, what happened exactly? I was scrolling through Reddit, as you do sometimes, and I'm on a lot of cannabis cultivation subreddits, and one of them popped up as an Ethos genetic. There was a beautiful picture of a plant that I would actually be interested in growing. Under this post, everyone was commenting, or a couple people were commenting, F Ethos Genetics. Do not buy Ethos Genetics. Don't support Ethos Genetics. Some people accusing Ethos for paying people for some reason to post onto the subreddit and give shout outs to him because of these accusations, staining his career and his reputation. I want to go over the court document kind of summary real quick and talk about what I know about the story because I've been looking into it today and it's kind of interesting. So, to touch on what I originally found, I was linked to a story about a guy who beat a 7-month-old dog and then threw the dog off the balcony. But the only problem with that story is it was a completely different person who beat their dog and threw it off a balcony. They didn't even share the same name, not same last name, not even same first name, and they don't even work for the same company. The guy was to a marketing company. So I was like, yeah, if that's what was going on, I don't want to support Ethos Genetics. Obviously, I read up on the story and then I Googled who the owner of Ethos Genetics was, and it was a completely different person. So I debunked that claim easily enough. However, going into the summary of this, it I guess could go either way. Whether you want to support him or not, we're going to get into it. So the summary: this New York case reflects defendant's motion to dismiss the accusatory instrument in the interest of the justice, essentially asking for the complaint to be dismissed for violating agriculture and market laws. I might torturing, injuring animals, or failure to provide proper sustenance for animals. Defendant's primary argument is that she is not the owner of the dog, nor is she responsible to take care of the dog. So, right off the bat, Colin Gordon is a man, and the person who was being tried was a woman. Who was this woman who was being tried? His girlfriend, whom was left with the dog. So, why is Colin Gordon even catching flack for this? We continue. Responsible care for the dog. The dog belongs to her abusive and estranged husband. We're assuming that is referencing Colin at this point. The husband left the dog in the care of the daughter who lives on the second floor above the defendant. So we're assuming that the daughter was supposed to be taking care of the dog at this point. When the husband left for Florida, he placed the dog in the backyard attached to his defendant's ground floor apartment. The dog did not have proper food, water, shelter, and slowly began to starve, resulting in emaciation. While the defendant asserts she has been a victim of domestic violence, which we don't know. There are no criminal records for those. The people counter the defendant was aware of the dog's presence at her residence and allowed the dog to needlessly suffer, which the dog should not suffer whether your husband was beating you or not. Like, let's give this lady the benefit of the doubt, who we don't know, Colin Gordon's wife, accusing Colin of physically abusing her. So she decides it would be logical to let a dog starve to death without shelter or water. This court noticed the defendant's motion is time-barred and must be denied further. Despite the time bar, the defendant did not meet her burden to dismiss in the interest of justice. The court noted that even viewing animals as property, failure to provide sustenance of the dog caused it to suffer needlessly, which that's inarguable. If you're not giving an animal food or water for a extended period of time or even shelter, that can be considered abuse, like without question. In fact, the court quoted from in matter of non-human rights protect. I almost read non-human as Nahuman, by the way. Non-human rights protect Project Incorporated versus Laverty, in which denied a writ of habeas corpus for 2 chimpanzees. If that fucking made any sense to anybody, let me know. Where in the court said, there is no doubt that a chimpanzee is not merely a thing, obviously. This butt rested the court's decision with regards to the dog here because court finds that their protection from abuse and neglect are very important considerations in the present case. Defendant's motion to dismiss in the interest of justice was denied. So that's the summary of the court case. Basically, to sum it up in even shorter terms, husband, Colin, leaves for Florida for undisclosed reason. Wife/daughter, who lives in a separate apartment, both in charge of this dog. Because it was on the wife's property, technically she would be in charge, in my opinion, of making sure the dog does not suffer. In my opinion, the only thing Colin could be faulted for was leaving the dog with his spiteful wife. And going into the abuse accusations, it's very possible that she could have just flipped a switch. This is speculation and alleged. I'm assuming she made up abuse accusations to make it seem like she wasn't the bad guy and to justify needlessly abusing a dog. So since people are still talking about this and still not supporting Ethos because of this, I don't think that's necessarily right. I have a dog, and if I left for Florida on like a business trip or something, or if I was doing a podcast and had to make an appearance or something like that, I would fully trust my wife to take care of our dog, which she has proven she would in the past. And if she decided not to, I would be extremely confused by that and also hurt. So the fact that she just decided to ignore the dog in the backyard for whatever reason, I don't think that Colin should be faulted for that. I think it should completely fall on his wife for not taking care of the dog. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Are you going to be supporting Ethos Genetics? Are you kind of going to leave this in the past where it seems to belong? Or are you just going to go on with your strike that you're doing, or not supporting them, or just simply not caring? Let me know down in the description below. I know we don't normally go over a lot of legal things or cases like this, but I thought it was pretty interesting, the confusion and the controversy around this story. So let me know what you think. If you're new, hey, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you very much.